Today, what we're going to focus on will be manipulatives. What are manipulatives? Manipulatives are objects which the child can hold, the child can touch, the child can feel. If he wants to, the child can smell, okay? And through touching and doing certain things with the object, the child learns, okay? Now, basically, what happens is that you must always remember in early childhood education, the 5 senses. What you hear, what you see, okay? What you say, all right? What you feel, touch. So children and even us as adults will remember better, all right, if we learn something in different ways. Example, ABC. How do we teach ABC? We show them a video clip with all the ABCs, you know, cartoon jumping up and down, right? We give them plastic letters. We give them a sand tray or a corn flour tray to trace out the letters. We sing different ABC songs, right? We give them Play-Doh or plasticine, roll the Play-Doh or plasticine into a long snake and tear it apart to make letters. So when we teach ABC, you notice that we use different ways. And the final way would be for them to actually hold a pencil and write. Okay? It is actually very important if you are teaching children ABC and then writing, spend more time on free writing. Okay? Spend more time on free writing to prepare the children. There is misunderstanding amongst a number of early childhood educators. The teachers think that if a child's handwriting is very poor, okay, we will teach them to write better by making them do more writing, more writing. And then what happens is that they do more writing, but they seem to be making the same mistakes. Then the next thing that happens is ask a child to erase. I know children are not very good at it. So what happens accidentally, the book can tear. Or if the paper is of very poor quality, you get a hole there. Then you get very upset child. And then the teacher also gets upset. Okay, and then what happens when the teacher is upset? The words that come from your mouth. Like this also you cannot do, huh? Why are you so stupid? How come the others can do? Those kind of words actually, all right, really hurt a child emotionally and psychologically. My husband is a child and adult psychiatrist, child and adolescent psychiatrist, but he also, in the beginning, he trained as an adult psychiatrist, and he does cognitive behavior therapy and family therapy with adults. And he tells me most of his cases, that person can be 20 years old, 30, 40, 50 years old. And they all remember something that an adult said to them when they were in school. It can be a teacher, it can be grandmother, it can be father, it can be mother, but they remember it, okay? And they remember it. So be very careful what comes out of your mouth, because the Bible does say your tongue can give life, but it can also kill. Your words are very powerful. When you are with children and when you are with your, think twice before you open your mouth. Think 3 times. You find that you got nothing nice to say, then zip the mouth, don't say anything at all. Okay. Some sit down and write in our notebook, what are the positive ways you can say? Okay. For example, if the child is writing this way and it's not the right way, don't do that, it's wrong. How many times I tell you it's wrong? All right. What do? Okay. What you can actually do is Okay, you can use your sand tray or you can use your plasticine or Play-Doh. Go backwards 1 or 2 steps and use that to help the child form the letters correctly. For formation of letters, okay, you can actually have you can actually print out ABC quite big, yeah, on say, I would consider it half A4 paper, and you laminate it. Then you tell the children to take the plasticine, roll it into a snake, and then what? Tear it and what? Put the plasticine on top of the letters. And when they're actually doing that, you think about it, when they're actually trying to put plasticine on the letters, you notice that they have to look at it very carefully, isn't it? Okay, so they are learning to focus on the shape of the letters. Once they've got that right, then you ask them to try. What I've done, difficulty. So if I let him do ABC with plasticine, then you ask him to write, even if it's to sort of trace, he had difficulty. So in the end, okay, do A. Good. Let's do it again with different color Play-Doh. Very good. You think you can try, all right, to write, trace with the pencil? So with A, B, time he could do, but don't panic. Okay, if the child is 3-4 years old, he still has time before he goes to school. So no need to push. Okay? Don't push. The children need to go actually more or less at their own speed. So what I've actually said is that manipulatives are things that you use, or rather the children use, the teacher provides things that children use for learning. And it is experiential. They touch it. Okay? They move it, they shape it. So it's experiential. And when you use as many of the 5 senses as possible in one activity, the child remembers more. Okay? If you are using 4 of the 5 senses, it means that the information is going into the head in 4 different ways. Of course, you remember better. Okay? Which is also the reason why we know of students who will study, especially secondary students like SPM, they study the day before Sejarah exam. They study the day before science exam. So what will happen is some of them can remember in the exam hall. The minute they walk out of the exam hall, that's it. All the information disappears. Everything was in short-term memory. Then you have students who also study the night before, and then on the day itself, they're so anxious, they panic. Then what happens? All right. What happens is that they cannot remember. They panic. That happens. Now, students who can remember, okay, during SPM, they can remember the same during STPM and university is because when they studied, all right, they put effort into learning it. They were drawing mind maps and used other techniques. And because of that, information from the short-term memory moved to the long-term memory. All right, and actually using of manipulatives does help that. Yeah. At the moment, are there any questions? I'm happy to take questions. Okay, no questions, right? Let me go on to let me show you something, yeah? Wait. 1 minute. Let me share screen, hang on. Okay. Right. Can you see my screen? Yes? Manipulative and yes. Midlife crossing. Okay. This is Google Classroom. I created a Google Classroom for you. All right. The name is Manipulatives and Midline Crossing, and this is the class code, BOXWQBK. So all you have to do later is you type in Google Classroom. When you go to Google Classroom, you look for course code, type this in, you will come into my Manipulatives and Midline Crossing Google Classroom. In this, at the moment, I have 3 folders. The first is Literacy Manipulatives, then Math Manipulatives, and finally, Midline Crossing Activities. All right, and you will find the information there. You click on it, you will get many files. Just hang on. Let me get back to my original. Where is this original? This is the original. Okay, just say that I click here under Math Manipulatives, it goes in. So here, if you want to see the whole title, you want to see look at the 3 dots here, click on Edit. Okay, just these are some PowerPoints and video clips, which you can download. In order to download, you double click on the folder that on the file you want. When it opens, you save a copy. Okay, can? Don't worry if you don't know how to do it. We can always give you help. I thought this would be an easier way because the last time when I was uploading into the chat, some people didn't receive. Yeah, some people didn't receive. So you don't have to rush. It will be here. Wait 1 minute. Let me get out of this. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Before we move on, there's something that I would like to do with you all first. Okay. How many of you have heard of midline crossing? Midline crossing? Most would not have heard them. The reason is midline crossing, okay, is if a child or an adult has some difficulties with their movement and all that, okay, they see an occupational therapist. The occupational therapist will teach them exercise activities, all right, to develop midline crossing. So actually, it's not teachers who do it, all right? Some special needs teachers like myself, we know about it, but usually it's done by occupational therapists. And if you can imagine, you think about your kindergarten, how many children there are, all right, it's almost what? 0% that anyone will end up seeing an occupational therapist for midline crossing. Okay, now let me explain what midline crossing is. Right, in your body, yeah. Imagine a line from the top, the middle of your head, and goes all the way down. Okay, down between your 2 feet. There's one line here. What is interesting is up here. If you have a line that comes down my face vertically, what's on either side at the top of the head here? What's in this head? Your brain. Okay? Now, do you have one whole brain or is it actually split in half? Your brain is actually split in half. Is the left brain and the right brain. And it's very interesting. You know, when people have stroke, part of the body cannot move. And if it is the left side of the body that didn't move, it means that the stroke happened on the right. If it's the right side of the body that cannot move, it means a stroke occurred on the left side of the body. Okay, so what is crossing the midline? Crossing the midline is actually helping the body, the right side of the body and the left side of the body to what? Get to know each other, to be closer. Okay, there is one more midline crossing, and that crossing is a horizontal crossing at your waist, down at your waist. That is another. So obviously that one is what you bend forward. Okay, when you're bowing. Okay, now just let me show you. Okay, midline crossing activity. One moment. Okay, I'm going to do this. 1 minute. I will also share it with you. Stop share. 1 minute. Let me turn this down a bit and then share it with you. Okay. That's interesting. I can't see. I got it. Okay. Okay, those of you who can, try. Let's move. This guy here, 70 over years old. We can move, yeah. See, you're crossing.
Every day.
Across. Right. Left. Right. Did you hear something? Listen, what will crossover help you with? What does crossover exercise help you do? To read and to write. Interesting, huh? This exercise helps children to read and write faster and better. I'll go through that later.
Every day. Every day. Right hand to the friend's right. Left hand to the left. Every day.
Indranee, I think can't hear the sound.
Huh?
Can't hear the sound. Maybe you when you share that time, you need to share.
Oh, you should have told me earlier. I am so sorry. Okay, but you all can watch it, yeah? It's on the, what do you call that? It's on Google Classroom. Now, you heard, isn't it? Crossover will help you to read and write. Sounds funny, yeah? How does it happen? Okay. The reason why we don't hear about this, and when we were in school, last time we didn't hear about it, is very simple. Last time our lifestyles were different and children got a lot of exercise. Yeah. They're running around, and then I used to climb up my neighbor's coconut, what's that tree? No, rambutan tree. Okay. And the grandfather was very good. He went and built one platform there. So that was my boat. It was my rocket. It was my house. It was my tent. It was everything. So I'll climb up and then I'll play there. And then we had a big swing. The swing that is double and no 2 seats here, so it moves like this. 2 seats. So what I did was, I think maybe this was the reason why I'm an only child. My mother cannot tahan having another child because Indranee does not sit on the seats. Indranee climbs on top where the bar is, and Indranee hangs down upside down. My knees and my legs will be over the bar like that, and then I'll be hanging head down. Okay, You're very lucky I'm not your child. I'll do all sorts of things. It's like I know before the students do anything, I know what is it in their brain. So because we were running around, we were doing all these kind of things, actually we automatically got the crossover. Okay, we automatically actually did the crossover. The problem is now children sit at home under the fan or aircon and they watch TV, play with the phone or play computer. So therefore, is there any crossover? No. Okay, there's no crossover. Yep, because there is no crossover, all right, the left brain, right brain is not linking well. And because it's not linking well, it causes difficulty with, all right, their reading and their writing. And another problem with the writing is this. If you think about it, all right, how many of you here have seen children, when they want to write the letters of the ABC, they turn the whole paper or the whole book, and then they write like this? Have you seen? You have, right? You know why? Their body, the two sides of their torso and the two arms don't know how to cross over. They're not to cross over the paper. They're supposed to cross over the body. They don't do it. They can't do it. That is why, because our situation nowadays, when children are mostly at home, we actually need to do crossover exercises in the classroom. I have had conversations with parents, actually trying to recommend that they take the child to the playground, you know, and the answers are, working too late, cannot take. Although weekends, we're very busy, you know, with housework. We don't have a maid, you see, so that's when we clean. Then next thing is, no, when you go to the playground, they run around, they climb and all that, then they become very sweaty, they become very itchy. I'm saying you can take a t-shirt to change. Okay, next one was mosquitoes at the playground. I said you can actually put this, mosquito repellent. All right. So the kids are not exercising. Okay. Now let me show you. Here, this video, yeah. And this time I will try and remember to put on the sound. Now, can you see 18 quick midline activities? Yes? Okay. Now my problem is how to, 1 minute. Okay. Share. Right. Let me go through this with you. 1 minute. And why is this? Okay. Now, here are 18 midline activities, okay, for academic tasks. Very interesting. It's for academic tasks. Yeah. So, what is midline crossing? When a person's arm or leg crosses the middle of the body to another side. Okay. It is important to note that when you do midline crossing, the trunk, the torso doesn't move. It is the arms or the legs that will move. Okay. Now, in the morning when you jump into your car, then you put on your seat belt. Do you realize that you are crossing the midline? So if you don't, okay, you haven't developed that particular crossing the midline action, then you're going to have difficulty putting on your seat belt. So actually crossing the midline is very important. There are many tasks that need it. How can you tell if a child is having difficulty crossing the midline? Okay, you will see them use their right hand on the right side of the body and the left hand on the left side of the body. What does that mean? That means this child, okay, just say that you've given the child some beads, okay, some beads. The child will use the right hand to put the beads in the container on the right. Then, okay, when it is time to fill the container on the left, this child will, right, use the left hand to put things into the okay, container. Will not take with the right and move it over to the left to put it into the left container. Okay, then, all right, you see that they are actually twisting their torso or their trunk, or they turn their head. You look, is this child? Now, on the left, you got this boy who has crossed the midline. You see, there's a drawing, there's a line on the paper. This child is not crossing the midline. What's happening? He's crossing the head, there's head rotation, the trunk is rotated, and you notice his hand? Yeah, so that is not crossing the midline properly. Now, why are crossing the midline activities important? Because it encourages communication of the two sides of the brain, or the two hemispheres of the brain. This is very important for development and learning. Now, crossing the midline will help the children with developing their hand dominance and bilateral coordination. Hand dominance is whether it can be right hand, left hand. Bilateral coordination, the movements. When, okay, now these crossing the midline activities are actually motor skills. All right. Once they have these motor skills, they can what? Learn better, and they can use classroom, manipulatives and objects, all right, in a smoother manner. For example, cutting paper, getting dressed, tying shoes will be easier. All right. Now, drawing and writing are easier if the children are able to cross the midline. Why? Then they can form letters and numbers properly, and they can write across a page. And inability to cross the midline may cause letter and number reversals, as well as difficulty in writing from left to right. Because when you're writing a sentence, you start at the left and you continue until the right, okay? You are actually moving from left side of the brain to the right side of the brain. So your brain needs to connect better. The two hemispheres need to connect better. Crossing midline activities will help eye movement. Okay, now, have you ever had students, okay, they look at the sentences, maybe you got 3 sentences on the board, short sentences, yeah, on the board. They will start with, for example, the first letter is, the cat is black. So the child will write, the cat is, okay, and then what happens is that instead of writing black, the cat writes fat. The cat is fat. You know why? The second line is, the cat is fat. So what has happened is that the child read the first line, then after that must bend down, look a few at bend, because they don't know much spelling yet. Look up and right. So suddenly what happens? Instead of looking at the first line, whoops, okay, their line of vision slipped down to the second line. So it ends up that the cat is fat. So then teachers may say, why are you so careless? You cannot copy properly. Yep. Why are you so careless? You cannot copy properly. Actually, it's not being careless. It's what? The eye, the visual coordination need to be able to see. So that is why when the children are young, we actually draw lines when we're writing on the board. Okay. It will be helpful if, for example, the first line you draw in black, you write the letters in, say, blue. The second line, you draw the line in red, then write again in blue. So that way, you're actually training the child. Okay, the first line is blue, so I must follow the line and copy. Or the second line is red, so I have to copy everything on the red line. Okay. What you could do is these crossing the midline activities, you can do it in the morning before they start class, or for instance, you do circle time, okay? And then after that, you want to go and do some reading and writing. So before they go back, you jump up and do crossing the midline exercise. Now, here are some quick midline crossing activities for academic class. One is, okay, arm scissors. What is arm scissors? Like this. You put the hand in front straight, okay, and move it across. These are your arm scissors, okay? And then nothing for arm scissors is this. Just say we start this way, right hand on top, right hand on top. Then what? Left hand on top, right hand on top, left hand on top, yeah? Okay, this is also very good. Get the children to stand at the whiteboard, or you can stick mahjong paper on the wall, hold the marker pen, and try to draw this infinity loop. This is number 8, right? But number 8 lying on his back is infinity. So get them to do it now. Why? Why? So the child is standing here, and the arm goes this way. The child is actually here. What you're actually doing is, have you noticed that you're crossing from right to left and left to right and right to left? So you do it first with the right arm and then with the left arm. Okay, so yeah. It will do two things. It will help to cross the, all right, one is to cross right, cross left, and the other one is notice that the arms, the shoulders are moving. This also helps to loosen up the shoulders for writing. Yeah. Okay, windmill, right? Windmill is standing up straight, okay, with your legs apart. Then what do you do? The hands are straight, and you bend. Okay, bend. That is your windmill. Okay, firecracker, stand up. Okay, press their hands together in front of their tummy. The fingertips are straight, and then what do you do? Move the body side to side with the hands in front of the tummy. Yep. There are other activities. All right, I do have some videos, so you can watch that. If we don't have time, I won't do it with you. Then you can watch it. Yeah. Right. So what I've done so far is this. Okay, I have been focusing on crossing the midline. The reason is not many teachers know about crossing the midline, but actually it affects our children's learning. Okay, crossing the midline just means, all right, that there is this line from the top of our head in the middle all the way down to between our legs, our ankles. Okay, so you have one side is your right brain, the other side is your left brain. Okay, so you need to get this connected. Why? The brain sends signals, is it? Okay, so it's better connected, then the signals will be smoother and faster. All right, so when you do crossing the midline exercises, you are connecting. Right, this is actually very, very important for reading and writing. Many educators are not aware of this. So if a child has difficulty with writing, instead of giving or difficulty with reading, instead of giving more work, all right, stop and do some exercises. Do it twice a day. Okay, I'll give you some samples of videos. You can always find more on YouTube. Okay, now how is handwriting affected with cross the midline? Handwriting is affected because, all right, when we have a piece of paper or a book, we read from what? Left to right, isn't it? So we're actually crossing the midline. So if the child cannot cross properly, there will be difficulty in handwriting as well as in reading. Are there any questions at the moment? Or any comments? No? Okay. We'll go on.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what is the difference between the cross line, the midline crossing needed problem, or is this dyslexia? Because it seems like very similar.
Okay. Dyslexia, children with dyslexia, all right, should actually do more crossing the midline. It will help very much because, like you notice, they have some different. Okay, dyslexia is different from crossing the midline. Crossing the midline is not just problem with letters. Okay, crossing the midline is actually just a movement. For example, to be able to write properly without moving the whole paper like that. You've seen that some children normally write like that. They do this. That's because they don't know. They're not aware of how they can move their body. Okay, so what I would say is this. If I were to draw a circle, part of a Venn diagram, dyslexia is not a small circle inside the big circle. What does that mean? If I say that dyslexia is inside crossing the midline, that means dyslexia is a fully 100% crossing the midline problem. It's not. What I can say actually is I got one big circle, which is called crossing the midline. Dyslexia will be a bit partly inside and partly outside, because dyslexia is more than crossing the midline. Does that help?
Yes. Because I just want to differentiate, because will it be good like 2-in-1? You see, 2 birds in one. So I just doing this, it also help the dyslexia student as well.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
You can get them to do more of crossing the midline activities actually, and then at the same time do dyslexia specific therapy.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Just to let you all know, yeah. Mostly we say that dyslexia means the child will what do you call that? Transpose B and D, terbalik the B and D. That is the simplest form of dyslexia. Do you know that the worst type of dyslexia is when the child looks at the book and the letters are moving, they're dancing. Now, when the letters are dancing, can you read or not? Obviously, you can't read. Then I know of children whereby normally we have B and D terbalik this way on the vertical axis. They can have it on the horizontal axis this way. Okay? They can have it on the horizontal axis. So if you are staying somewhere where there is, some special needs teacher or something, or a center, maybe a good idea to get the parents to send to see which type of dyslexia it is. When I was teaching in England in 2001, 2002, I had a class of children with special needs, mild ADHD, mild autism and all that. So there were 12 of them in my class, all right? But there was one boy, all right? We had English every day, 5 days a week. This boy, I will only see 2 days a week for English. The other 3 days, he's not with me. Why? Because he has dyslexia. And his dyslexia is so bad that the education authorities gave him an assistant teacher to follow him around everywhere to take notes. And then when his homework, the boy will what? Speak, and then the teacher aide will actually write it for him, because this was very bad. And then he only attended 2 English classes with me, because on the other 3 days, there was a dyslexia specialist who travels from school to school. So he went and had lessons, intervention with the dyslexia specialist. Okay? And he is the one whereby the letters will start dancing. Yeah. Any other questions or comments?
For a baby, okay?
Yes.
I think around probably 3-4 months baby, they're supposed to have that developmental to turn and things like that. Is that part of the mid-crossing thing? Turning?
So yeah, I beg your pardon, Rebecca. I didn't hear the first part. Do you mind repeating?
Okay, I am. My question is for babies. During their development years, probably around 3-4 months, they are supposed to turn and crawl and things like that. So if they are not able to do that, is this
yes,
affect?
It will affect. I can tell you this. When my husband, because child adolescent psychiatrist, is seeing, just say a 3-year-old child, 4-year-old child, he will take history from when a mom was pregnant with the child.
Mm-hmm.
Then he will ask things like, some people might think it's strange, like, well, when did he start, when did he turn, when did he start crawling, when did he start babu making sounds, calling mommy? We will take, okay, and there's one very interesting thing. There are a few children, not that many, who don't crawl.
Yeah.
They sit on the ground, they pull themselves along using things, and then after they stand, and then they learn to walk. these children will have problems with academic work. Do you know why? You think about it, crawling. Can you imagine yourself? Close your mind, yourself crawling. Now, which arm or which leg moves first? Think about it. You move only one limb first, or do you move both limbs? And if you're moving both limbs, are you moving 2 hands at a time, 2 feet at a time, or opposite, hand and feet, hand and feet, hand and feet, opposite, like an X? How do you do it? The crawl, you look at it, it's like an X. So it goes something like this: right hand out, then the left leg, the foot will push, and there it goes. So you notice that the child is actually crossing the midline now. The children who don't do that usually will have special needs. Another, that's one. What was the other one? Let me think. So basically, we have these little red flags, we call them. Yeah. So what you can do is when the children come, when they are 3 years old, 4 years old, just do the crossing the midline activities as part of, movement, music and movement or something. Yeah? Like for example, the what's his name? That man just now, what was it? Jack Hartman. There's music and all that. Crossover. The kids will be quite happy. It's very good for the teachers also. It keeps you limber. Okay. Right. Other questions? I am always happy to answer questions, okay? So don't worry about it. Okay, then I will go on. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you some manipulatives. Where is my... Hey, I seem to have... Okay, never mind. One moment, it's the file is opening. Right. Enable editing and okay. What I would like to do actually is to introduce you to activities which you yourself can make. Okay. Because if you notice, teaching aids, especially anything made from wood, is very expensive, especially the Montessori things. Yeah. So here are some things which are cheap and good. Okay, we recycle things or we buy things from a place like DIY. Okay, can you see shapes, colors, and patterns? Yes. Okay, look at this. We can do this, right? These are plastic plates you can easily buy. And then these are wooden pegs, okay, clothes pegs. You can buy them from DIY, and what is the other one? The Daiso. And then you paint it. So what happens? What do the children do? They, all right, clip the orange wood peg to the orange plate. So what they're doing is color sorting. Now, this is a very good activity for children also to strengthen their thumb and forefinger. And you notice the children will use their thumb and forefinger to hold a pencil. So by having to open, press to open the peg, the child is actually exercising what we know as a pincer grip, which is used for writing. Okay. Oops. Here, you can also purchase these. I think the cheapest you can get these are like woolly balls would be actually on Lazada. All right. Later on, I will try, and I do have some of these printables. So if I do have them, I will send it also to the, I will upload it, sorry, to the Google Classroom so you can print it out. So what happens is that you've actually got so-called caterpillars here. So this caterpillar's head is yellow, then the color is purple, blue, yellow, purple, blue, yellow. The one over here is yellow, purple, then purple, white, you have blue, red, blue, okay? So the children, you print these caterpillars, you laminate them, and then the children will put those cotton balls on it. Now, sometimes you will have problem because the cotton balls are very, light. So if the cotton balls are very light, what you can actually do is you buy Velcro, and now on Lazada, and nowadays you can have actually circular Velcro, no? And the sizes are different sizes, okay? Or you just buy one whole roll and you start cutting. So what you do is that on every circle on the caterpillar, you put one piece of Velcro, and then you put another piece of Velcro on the, okay, the woolly ball. Now be careful, but you notice the two pieces of Velcro are different, all right? So you need to go and settle with all your staff, your teachers, something like this. All right, everybody? Okay. On any cardboard or on any cardboard or paper or whatever, we will put this side, the side, the Velcro that is flat, we stick it there. On the objects, okay, which are supposed to be put on the Velcro, all the objects will have the loop, the Velcro with the loop. Why do we have to do this? Because, all right, it has happened before when first time I started using this. Okay, very excited, got these printables out, and then, I was cutting and pasting the flat side on top of the caterpillar. The other teacher I was working with was cutting and pasting on the woolly balls. And what did she do? She went and stuck the same thing I did, the flat side of the Velcro on the woolly balls. So what happened? The woolly ball cannot stick to the caterpillar because we both put the same sides. So be very careful. Yeah. Here do you see the Velcro? All right. So what is happening here is these are different strips. Then the strips will have different one. Will have different shapes, different colors. So take one strip. Okay, the child looks at it and then he takes these colored laminated shapes and arranges. It's like doing a code. All right. It is a good idea to get lots of all these Ziploc bags because they are very helpful. IKEA has lots of different sizes Ziploc bags which you may want to buy. Daiso also has Ziploc bags, but okay, they sell it only by 10 or 20 pieces. So IKEA will be cheaper. IKEA is also available online. By the way, I don't have shares in IKEA, but I'm just telling you that they are good to use. Okay, what is this? We can do this. This is a plastic container with a blue lid. And what has happened to the lid? The teachers went and cut a circle and a square. Okay, what are these? All right, you have, all right, these, what do you call that, pieces here. The kids are supposed to put it in. Now, these can be cut from styrofoam, okay? You all know the plastic noodle, the long, okay, which overseas they like to use it in the swimming pool and all that. You can actually buy them at different sizes from Daiso and you can cut. All right, or you can buy wooden pieces. Some of you may already have them in the school, or Lego pieces can be done. All right, now to make life easier and especially for clearing up, all right, make sure that the children, all right, have containers for all their bits and pieces of manipulatives. If not, you're going to find it all over the place. It's easier to clear up. All you have to do is tell the child, bring the bottle and your basket and put it over here. Okay. This is quite fun and easy to do. You need to go to Daiso to go and buy these, what do you call that? Ice cream sticks. Okay, so you can go and use your marker pen to go and make circles of different colors. And then what do you do? Then you go and paint some wooden pegs with the same colors, and then the children will clip. So this is, okay, orange. So the child has to find the peg that's painted orange and clip it there. Okay. Anyone can tell me something else? Instead of putting colors here, what else can we do? Anybody? You've got circles here. What else can you do? Can you put different shapes? For more advanced students, you can put a red circle, then after that, a blue triangle, and then a pink square. Okay, then you just have to do the same to the different wooden pegs. Yeah. I can also see that you can use it for literacy, right? ABC, doable? Yes. All right. These are plastic pegs. When you buy plastic pegs, okay, be careful. Some of the pegs are actually very hard. If they're very hard, then the children can't manage. Yeah. So be careful. Please check. What is done here? You can use actually what? If you got colored tape, so you can cut and then into strips and tape it around. The child will use the colored plastic totes pegs to peg on the right color. What about this? Yeah, I just saw the message just now. Yes, thank you, Jia Jin Chu. Shapes, numbers, alphabet. Yep. Okay, this is shapes. Doable, right? It will be a good idea if the principal gathers the staff together and you spend a half day or one full day sitting down together to make manipulatives together. It's quite fun. All right, it's quite fun if you do it as a group. Okay, I love egg cartons, whether it's this type, the dozen egg carton, or the big 30 eggs egg carton. Right, so here we have an egg carton. We have the square Lego, different colors, and then there is a pattern card here. There's a pattern card. So the child will put the Lego pieces according to the pattern. This is very important for developing math skills and also for logic, because you need to learn how to see patterns, how to match. All right. Again, all right, patterning. And here, this is a card that is already a pattern on the card. You've got two sticks that look like what? Ice cream sticks. And then you've got some squares. Okay, now the child makes it following the pattern on the card. And this child has got it right. Now, this is important for what? Visual discrimination. Okay, visual discrimination. Now, I had a student who played the piano. Wow, this boy was absolutely fantastic. But when it comes to handwriting, when it comes to exercise, anything like that, tak boleh. He doesn't know his right, he doesn't know his left, he gets easily confused. And can you imagine? He was taking an exam. I think he was taking, he was the final batch in my school last time, SPM exam. There were only about 10 of them doing SPM. Okay. So this is the oral exam, and he was told, go up to the first floor. Okay, go up to the first floor, turn left, and sit in the Form 2 classroom. Okay, the examiner will come to get you. After 10 minutes, we got a very irritated examiner who came to the school office. Where is your candidate? We said, huh? He was not there. We had to search for him. You know where he was? He was in the 3rd floor. Yeah, don't know which room. Why? Couldn't understand first and all that. 1st floor, Form 2 classroom. And then another thing, very interesting thing is this. If you ask him you look at this here, all right? If I give him this picture of the 2 ice cream sticks and the 3 cubes, then I ask him to make it with me, he cannot do it. You know what he will probably do? What he will probably do is that this orange stick he can do. Now this one will be brought out here. Out here. And then this yellow cube will be out somewhere else. And this one maybe down this side or just totally disappear. He could not actually really actually see, you know. Visual discrimination, very poor. So if you have students with very poor visual discrimination, they will obviously have difficulty with writing and reading. They cannot follow. Yeah. And writing, you know, there's certain ways of writing, isn't it? Forming the letters of the alphabet will have problem because they can actually can't really see it. So it's a curve there, they cannot see the curve. There is a line on the right, they can't see it. Maybe they put it on the left or they put it underneath. So visual discrimination. So if you've got a child who cannot do this, then you've got to do more visual discrimination exercises with the child. Any questions about visual discrimination? So you can see now, if a child has difficulty with handwriting, it don't give more work to write, writing work. Do other things like checking on visual discrimination. Yeah, doing what? Crossing the midline. Okay, here we can do this, get a box. Okay, and you know these pieces, right? These are from the lacing beads for the children, so you can reuse it. Circle, square. So this way, the child actually you can have a 3-year-old child doing this. After some time, you'll realize that actually there are 2 different shapes. One is round, the other one is, okay, it's got 4 corners. They will actually feel it, then they will see it, and then, all right, what happens? They feel it, they see it, all right, then it actually goes in the head. What is this? Little plastic containers, yeah, and this is what? You can, this can be, what do you call it? Play-Doh. So what you do is that the first thing that you do is give the children different colored Play-Doh, and the next thing they do is you want them to roll the Play-Doh. You know why? This is good exercise for the hands for writing. Okay. Then after that, use the fingers to pick out small pieces of that. Try to make circles. Okay. And then, all right, sort them by color. So you notice inside this container, there is a piece of, I think, blue paper. This one has green paper or cloth. If you don't want to put it inside, you can wrap it on the outside. Yeah. And then you know what I'll do after this? Let's do some cooking using toys. Masak-masak. You've done it already. Okay. Now, anyone tell me what this is? What is this supposed to teach the children? What do you think? It teaches a few things. What's one thing it can teach? Purple, yellow, blue, red, and green. So what does it teach? It teaches colors. Okay, it teaches colors. And what else does it teach? Are these the same size or different sizes? They are different sizes. So the children will also realize that if you go and take this purple and try to shove it into 4, it's not going to work because this is bigger. So they will try and try, then they realize, okay, they experience it. What else? They also count so that there's 3 blue, there are actually 3 blue counters. Well, what are these? Up to you. You can go and get counters. All right, the ones that they use to play games and all that. Plastic counters, you can also buy on Lazada. Try plastic counters and see. And you can also use cardboard. You can use a small one, you know, the water bottles, the tap, up to you. Now, let's look at the box itself. Can you notice something about the box? Something to do with the direction of the openings. Are they all like this, vertical openings, or are they all horizontal openings? Or are they a mix? It's a mix, right? Because number 3 and 5 are vertical, 1, 2, 4 are horizontal. Why? So that the child will what? Turn the wrist. You want the child to turn the wrist. Okay? Now, this is actually very useful for this wonderful thing that we all must have nowadays. It's called your learning center. You need your learning center, right? Now, in the learning center, actually, you will have a few different activities and the children will do different activities. And then what do? They will exchange tasks. So, to make your life easier, to make your life easier, and to ensure that the children know what to do, make this card. To complete this task, I will do this, okay? So this task, inside this box, you will have these shapes, okay? These cubes, and you will have the pattern cards. So then what do? Put the shape, the cubes on the table, take one card, okay? And you look at the card. What is the pattern? Red, blue, red, blue. So now what do? You take the blue, put it on the card, take the red cube, put it on the cube. And then in the end, you look at the last picture, how many cards are you supposed to do? 3 cards. Will this be easier? Will this be easier for you? Make it, okay? I know in the beginning, you're going to do a lot of printing and laminating, but once you got it done, you can use it for a few years actually. Yeah. And like I said, you need to create a small factory. So the small factory will be your teachers. Have some fun. Arrange for them to stay back or have one day whereby they will do this work. Okay. It will be a nice idea to be able to feed them also. We are all good Malaysians. We are well motivated when it comes to food. Right. Again, you've got the pattern card. This time you use plastic pegs. Please remember what I said earlier. Test the pegs. If they're too tight, you can't use it. Sometimes you can actually loosen it by what? All right. You can go and manipulate the clip here, the metal clip. Yep. So for this, you can put it into another container and you can make what? You can make this card for your students. Okay, here, sorting and also with patterns. Yep, using 8 cartons. Right? What about this? You all recognize this? This is the original Fisher-Price, okay? You put the different colorful circles from biggest to smallest. All right. So what this box does is it has actually arranged what? You cut holes there so that the children will put the well, what do you call that? This manipulatives. And they arrange it according to color. See the dots, the color dots are here. And then what do? They look at the dots here to help them. Okay? To help them put the biggest at the bottom. What about this? Here, again, there are shapes, but you notice what it has? You actually have a shape and you've got Velcro. So what does a child do? Look for the red circle and put it on top. Right. If you don't want, you can use the 8 cartons, but use ping pong balls because ping pong balls are easy to draw on. So you can use color, is it yellow, red, blue, green, following this. You can also use the ping pong ball. You draw the shape, the outline of the shape. You follow. Here, spelling. SAT and BAG. It can be done. All right. Children like this. You need to have small cars. Okay. And then they will move, and then they'll park the cars. So what you do is that there should be 2 cars parked here, 5 cars parked here, 4 parked here. Okay. Okay. This is the lacing beads, but these lacing cubes have numbers. So, okay, the teacher will have a sheet with the numbers, and then the child will arrange accordingly. Again, okay, clothes pegs. So you get a wooden cardboard box, okay, and you paint or you cut colored paper and stick it outside in rectangles, different colors. And then you prepare clothes pegs in the same colors. Oops, what am I doing? Okay, right. I can create an ABB pattern. ABB, ABB. That means one, and then this one is repeat. I can create an ABC pattern. ABC, ABC. All 3 are different. This is how they describe it. ABB pattern, ACC pattern. All right. So once the children see this card, what do? They use Lego or whatever it is that you have, and they make, all right, they copy the pattern. Here again, pattern copying. Okay, lacing. Why is there a hole here? Once a child has done everything, all right, they remove the beads and put it inside. So this is a box that you use to keep, all right, the manipulatives as well as use the manipulatives. Right, this is quite fun. You just go to DIY or whatever and get different colored flowers, and then you can have containers. You want to put red flowers or just color the whole thing red, you can, purple. So the children will do that. They quite like it. Okay, another thing that you can do with flowers is this. Plastic colanders. You know, after you washed vegetables in the sink, you put the vegetables in a colander and you shake it. All right, you let the water drain out. So what it means is that the plastic colander usually is circular and got a lot of holes on. Okay, that's a colander. So what can actually be done is you get the colander and turn it upside down. Turn it upside down. It looks like a house. Then the children will, you tell them, they're going to plant flowers. So they're going to take the flowers and put it into the holes. So they're planting flowers. They like that. Okay. Okay. If you can paint, you paint. If you can't paint, print out a nice picture. All right. Stick it, okay, on what's that? This called ice cream sticks, or these are actually the bigger ones, the doctors for a tongue depressor, the sticks, yeah. And then you cut it, all right. And then what happens? The children will arrange it so that you can see the whole picture. Now, what you can do is this for younger children. By the side here, you can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or A, B, C, D, E, F. That is to help them. Okay. For older children, maybe you won't want to put that. You just do what is here. There's no clue. All right. Okay. Questions? Are the activities doable? Boleh buat kah? Or very difficult? Can you all just say? Boleh buat kah? Tak boleh buat? Hello. Okay. So, boleh buat kah? Tak boleh?
Yes, can do.
Can do, right? Expensive
Yes.
or not expensive?
No, can
You
collect and free.
just collect. So you know what you do or not? You go and announce in church a newsletter. You tell them that we want to make activities for the children. All right. Can you, if you have plastic containers and old toys and all that, especially old Lego, okay, we will be happy to collect it from you. Hey, you can get quite a lot of barang, you know. Okay, so it can be done. That's why I said cheap and good. I'd like to give you a 6-minute rest before I continue, right? It's 3:17. So come back by 3:23. See you. I have, during the break, okay, I sent some information to the chat. If you can just open your chat. I sent the picture of my Google Classroom. The name is Manipulatives and Midline Crossing. And then the class code is also there on the top left. I understand that TCF, Rosalind also sent it somewhere. Where do you send it, Rosalind? Yeah, I think we both send it to the same place. Yeah. So,
Indranee, I just want you on just to me, and you have to send it to everybody.
Oh, so now what do? Go back and send to everybody.
Yeah.
Or can you forward it? No. Okay, you can't miss it. Let me go and.
Okay, I managed to.
Can you forward it? It'll be great. Okay, now I'm going to go through. All right. Let me see. I'm going to go through some numeracy, maths, yeah? 8 manipulatives. Let me share that with you. Can you see numeracy? Right? I hope you can see. Right. If not, let me know. Okay. This is an activity which you can make pretty easily. You take photos showing your fingers and thumbs. Okay. So, and then, all right, arrange it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one finger means number 1. Then after that, you give the children counters or anything that they can use to put. So they have to put 1 object here, then 2 objects. So the advantage of this activity is that the children are learning 3 different things. They learn number 1, number 2, 3, 4, the numeral. They also learn how many objects to put there to correspond with the number. And they also learn the finger signs for numbers, right? You can also do this, okay? Let the children clip quotes pegs. So number 6, so 6 quotes pegs, all right? Again, clothes pegs, the colorful plastic clothes pegs. So these are just what? Plastic containers, all right? Stick the numbers on them, and what do the children do? The children will just clip the pegs on. And again, clipping is great for strengthening their pincer grip for handwriting. Again, just simple cardboard with the number and then there are dots. And clip the correct clothes peg. Okay. 1-on-1 correspondence. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the children are given these. These are, I think, you know what I'm saying, pieces of foam you can cut. All right. Okay, this is very cute. This is the adding machine. So you tell the children, you can put anything in there. You can put even small erasers. I've actually purchased from Lazada, big container, you know, like about 1,000 erasers, 500 erasers, so that the children can use them as counters. You can use it for this. So what you can do is you can, okay, start, you show the children. Now I'm going to put in 2, okay, 2 beads into this cup, top, all right. And then on this side, I'm going to put in 3 beads. So how many beads do you think there are in the 2 cups? Okay, let's see. Then you know what you can do? Actually, you can turn it. You turn the cup, you turn the other cup, then actually, all right, beads fall down, the children can count 5. Okay. If you want to have something that can be turned, all right, you would need to make sure that you get the split pins. You all know what split pins are? Just to check. You all know what split pins are? Split pins, what happens is that at the, all right, it's together, then at the bottom, it opens up. So you push it in, and then from the bottom, you open it up. Then what happens is that it will hold. So imagine you want to make a cardboard clock, and you want to attach the hands of the clock, and you want it to move, you need to use those split pins. So you can use the same split pins when you're making this adding machine. All right, and this adding machine, of course, what you can also do would be that you can get the children to put it in. Yeah, so you get the children to put it in. Something else that you can actually do with it is that actually you give them something like a worksheet or strips of maths problems, 2 + 1, 5 + 3, you know, that kind of thing. So they take each and then they put it in. You can do this as a pair work. Yeah. What? Using bottle caps, you can put stickers on it. All right. So again, numerals, okay? Your dots, they look like dice, right? And at the bottom will be the bottle caps with the numbers. Okay? And because you notice it is 1 to 6, it is exactly what is on our normal dice. So you can actually make it more fun by giving them a dice to throw. Oh, 3. Then they have to put the bottle cap on number 3 here. Yeah. Yeah. Talking about dice. Now, you all notice that some dice are very small and a bit difficult for children. Okay. So what you can do is you go on Lazada and look for plastic dice. Now, even better than plastic dice, you can buy foam dice, okay? F-O-A-M, foam dice. Just type it. The foam dice are bigger and they don't do this. You notice when you use plastic dice with children, there's going to be a lot of crawling under the table in order to get the dice. So maybe better actually to use a foam dice. You cannot get a foam dice, never mind. This is the technique. You get your normal plastic dice, put it in a container. Okay, so you know those transparent plastic containers that we use for chicken rice and all that to tap out? That's rather big. But you know that the same type of transparent microwavable containers, they have the round ones, you know, the smaller round ones. You put your dice inside that container and the children will shake it. Okay, they will shake it, then they stop, they look at the number. Okay, this means that your dice will not fall off. Okay, another alternative is you get a kitchen towel, fold it a few times, put it on the table, and the children are supposed to throw the dice on the kitchen towel. So it doesn't, all right, start bouncing across the table and falling on the floor. These are all techniques which I have learned, okay, and used. Okay, this is done using paper plate. Of course, you can use plastic plates. All right, and you can get these star stickers again on my good friend Lazada. And okay, pegs with numbers. Over here, these are very cute. Okay, little envelopes. All right, number 1 and 1 dot. So the children are supposed to put the corresponding, okay, number of ice cream sticks. Yeah. You can do actually to make your life easier. If you give the children all these envelopes piece by piece, it'll go all over the place. It would actually be better if you were to stick the envelopes on something, okay, on cardboard or something. Yeah. One more thing actually you can do is maybe instead of the cardboard, you're going to put it on your notice board. But if you're going to put it on the notice board, you need to put a few more, what do you call that? Pins, so it's stronger. Why is it that this will be good for the board? You know why? You realize that the work that we ask our children to do, okay, all the work we ask our children to do is actually downward, correct? Down, right? But if you put this on the board, it's actually this way, and it helps. I have a funny, I have this strange, I don't know why, reaction writing on the whiteboard and writing on paper. When I write on paper or type on the computer, my spelling is excellent. When I write on the whiteboard, something goes wrong. The angle is different. Okay, the angle is different, and then my brain also goes haywire. I have difficulty. I will end up with a spelling mistakes, which I normally won't make. So I ask my students to check my writing on the board. So we would like the children to be able to work on different surfaces, okay, horizontal as well as vertical whenever possible. Right, let me go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, now in the UK, all right, in the UK and in America and all that, they like to do this. Okay, build 10, add 4 more. What is the sum? Build 11, add 4 more. What is the sum? And these are the unifix, okay, unifix cubes. They can stick into each other. You can always use small, like you can use a Lego, it doesn't matter. So what does that mean? Build 4 means they start with this 4. After that, what do they do? Put in and add in another 12. How many? Okay. Sorry. Put 4, add in 8. What do you get? 12. You can use this can be laminated and they can just write on it. Okay. So what you can do is if you want to say don't want to build 10, what do you say? Okay. What we normally will do is 4 plus 8. Okay. Okay. 4 in one color, the other 8 in a different color. How many will you get? If you start with 4, then you add another 8. Okay. What is the sum, or what is the answer? How many cubes are there? So this is actually practicing speaking. Yeah. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry. Right. Again, instructions. To complete this task, I will, okay, let's have a look. You have, okay, something like beads here. Then you have something like a ribbon. And there are numbers here. Oh, see what they're doing? The numbers here are laminated and it's actually connected to, what is this? Pipe cleaner. These are pipe cleaners. And then these are beads. So if there's a 5, then the children must, okay, thread 5 beads on this particular pipe cleaner. Okay. Now, if you want to do this activity with children, be very careful the size of the bead. Yeah. If you've got 2-3 years old, that you cannot use this. You have to use the big wooden ones, wooden beads. So think about it. Right. Right. I can label a number line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you know what's underneath? Underneath is actually black Velcro. So the children are following 0 to 10. Then the child, all right, follows that. And then after that, what happens? You can ask them to number the number line. Okay. You just put 0, 1 end and 10 at the other end. They'll put in the middle. Then after that, just a line. You don't have 10. You don't have that. It's just empty. Then you will know whether the children can know their number line or not. Okay. Right. Teachers, what are these? You buy this as the metal circle. What is it? You buy it from stationery shops. Actually, you are supposed to have, you know, when you are studying, you have you have cards. Okay, you punch a hole and then you put it into this. It can clip together and it can unclip. Okay. Beads and all that you can actually get on, as usual, Lazada or Shopee. Okay. Different colors, different sizes. Okay, what is this? A box. numbers 1 to 9. Then you have cards, and on the cards you have dots. Okay, and the students will match the number of dots to the numeral. Binder rings, ring binders. Thank you, Venjin. There's a name for it. All right, what is this? I like this very much. Have you all seen this? Usually they are white, green, or blue. Okay, it's made of glass, something like glass, but it's flat, so it doesn't roll around. If you use marbles, you're gonna have problems. It's gonna roll. So I like these. Okay, and the children like it. Yep. So number cards with space next to it, and then the children. All right, the children will place the glass beads on the card. Now be aware of this. Look at number 6. Do you see these 3 black dots? Yeah. Okay. Now, this activity is a self-correcting activity. The child will sure get it right. Even if they don't know what to do, they just have to put 1 bead on every black dot. So they automatically will get it right. This is a self-correcting activity. The child, all right, cannot go wrong. So for your learning centers, please put in self-correcting activities. Okay? Put in self-correcting activities. If not, you won't know whether the children got it right or wrong. So another example of a self-correcting activity. You know your jigsaw puzzles? Okay? The ones saying the animals or the ABC letters, those, especially a wooden one, wooden jigsaw puzzle or the ABC puzzles. You notice that the piece of plywood actually has cut out, the whole letter A has been cut out. So when the child takes letter B and tries to put it into A, it cannot go in. The child has to get A and put it in. So that is another self-correcting activity. What I have also done before is this, because I cannot be in 10 places at the same time. So what I've done is just say the activity is literacy. So I've got CAT, cat, BAT, bat. I'm doing the AT word family. So I have a picture of a cat, a picture of a map, and I also have word cards, cat and map. So the children are supposed to match. But if I'm not there, who's going to check whether it's correct? What you do is this. Okay, take the picture of the cat, and at the back of it, you write CAT. So once the children have matched, how do they check? They just turn the picture around, CAT, and then they see the word, their word card, CAT, it's correct. So it's a self-correcting activity. And just now when we looked at all these pegs, all right, all these pegs on the number 1, 2, 3, you have pegs of different colors, all that will actually be self-correcting. They just follow. Okay, here, okay, cards, paper plates, you count the number, turn it at the back. Is it correct? This is lovely. I'm not sure whether you still have any of these old CDs. Can still be used. You have. Yeah. Okay, here. These are water bottles you can get anywhere. Okay, right. So 8, 3, 2, and 5, the children will put the, what do you call that? I can't remember, the fuzzy balls inside. Okay. Here, I will try and dig out my files to send this to you. You can print this out. So this is TWO. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers by the side. Okay, so what does a child do? This is 2. Okay, identifies the letter, the numeral 2, then take the peg and peg on number 2. Yeah. Doable, yeah. Okay, you can have all different numbers, 8, 7, 6, whatever you want, okay? And then the dots, the children will just clip one peg on each dot. Again, this is a self-correcting activity. Okay, here, picture of what? If I'm not mistaken, it's a mouse and a muffin. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is letter 6 and the child clicked. Okay, a red peg on letter 6. Yeah. Now, if you want to make this a self-correcting activity, what do? You write the answer at the back. Okay, you write the answer at the back. All right. This is quite cute. You want the children to put in, take out, put in, take out. Okay. Again, vertical movement of the hand and wrist. So what you do is that you get a box. I think this looks a little bit like a large shoe box. Write the numbers and you cut holes. And then you get your ice cream sticks, write the numbers there, and the children will slot it in. Yep, the children will slot it in. And again, you're self-correcting, right? Because the child can see 6 and 6. Sorry. Okay, what is this? You are not doing what do you call it, fractions yet. But what you can do is you can just tell the children, you can put a number here, 2, 4, 5, 6. So they realize they're supposed to put the what? So-called pieces of pepperoni on the pizza. Or you know what can be even more fun? You give the children a Play-Doh. They make and you give them something like a plate. That is their pizza. Then they make their Play-Doh, they make circles. That's a pepperoni, and then they put in. All right. Right, I like this. 3 different size trees. So you are teaching sizes, order. Okay, and what do? Stick Velcro on it. Now, what are the children supposed to do? According to the apples must be sorted on the trees according to size. Okay. How can you make this self-correcting activity? On the back of this, okay, you can print the same trees but smaller. What you do is, sorry, you take all this, you put it, what do you call that? You sort it out correctly. Take a photo, print out the photo, stick it at the back. Okay. Yep. Nowadays, when children are taught maths, we teach them in different ways. So this is number 2. How can you make number 2? It can be 2 plus O, it can be O plus 2, and it can be just 2 black dots on this. What's this called? This is the 10 frame. 10 frame, exactly 10 squares there. Okay. So they actually can see that number 2 and other letters are made up, can be made up of in different ways. You can actually have what? Now you're doing subtraction. You can, of course, also do addition. So the answers are stuck on this box or this container, and then the children will stick the question, will clip the question. Yeah. What about this? Again, you got, these are the letters here or inside the egg carton. These are actually the answers. The questions are on these plastic eggs. Okay, they're on these plastic eggs. All right, I am done with this. Let me come back. Have you all been getting some ideas that you can use? Teachers, are you getting ideas that you can use? Okay, yes, I see lots of ideas. Okay, you're most welcome. Right. Let me move on. Thank you for providing feedback. I appreciate it. I'm done with this. Where's my other PowerPoint? Right, we're going to do a bit of sorting. Yeah. Sorting activities. Print out, if you want, this is more fun, you see, you print out something like looks like a refrigerator, then you go and find pictures or actual plastic containers or actual labels from your kitchen. And then you ask the children to put it in the refrigerator, what goes in, what does not go in. Okay, if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, all right, you have a refrigerator with a freezer. One of these shelves will be a freezer. So what goes in there? So ice cream goes in there, for instance. Yep. Okay, now this is a puzzle you can make. All you do is that you go and get some things or objects from your house, put it on this cardboard and outline it. Then you give the child all these materials and you get the child to, all right, sort it out. Yeah, sort out all these household items. Okay, so you can use quite a lot of toys to do this. All right, here, this is animals. So the babies are here. They're going to put the babies. Okay. Of course, you can also, for higher level students, you can put their word cards, the names here. You can put it all here. Yeah. Okay. Soft and hard. Very simple. Give two baskets, right? Okay. Label it soft, label it hard. Give them some materials, and then they arrange it. Okay. As I said earlier, make sure that you have containers. Then it's actually easier for everybody, for the child and for you, especially when it comes to cleaning up. Okay. All right. You are different pictures here, right? So the children have to sort it out. Are these animals or are these different clothing? Okay. Of course, you can add on more pictures and more what? Topic cards. So this is my topic. The next topic can be what? Fruit, colors, vegetables, so many things. Yeah. Okay. Teaching children to lay the table. So you first have this, okay, printed sheet. Okay, I can set the table. So plate, napkin, fork, knife, spoon, and your cup of water. And in this container are the different cutlery, etc. And then they put it in. They have to sort it, arrange it. Yeah. Here. Okay, another one. So what this person did was they went and bought these you know what I call it, the place setting, the plastics, you know, you can get from Daiso and all that. Then what they did was that they used the masak and they drew the outline, and so the child will use the masak plastic play toys to learn how to set a proper place setting on a mat. Now, you do realize that you can also do this for Chinese place setting and all that, right? Chinese, you put chopstick and bowl, okay, and then a soup spoon. By the way, if I understand, I don't know, I've not seen it. Apparently, in Daiso, you should be able to get chopstick for children. They are shorter, and at the top, right, it's basically like this. There's this plastic piece of plastic. You will put one chopstick, okay, into one holder and the other one there. And when the child holds it and uses it, the top doesn't cross. It helps them. You may want to do that with their children. And another activity that is fun is once they know how to manipulate the chopsticks, they use the chopstick to pick things up. Okay, they use chopsticks to pick things up. Okay, this is for sorting. Big, tiny, enormous, gigantic, little. So you put different things around, put containers with the words and picture, and then they will sort mini things and big things and all that. In fact, if you want, you can actually give some coins. Yeah, 50-cent coin is bigger than a 10-cent coin, so they can just sort. A lot of things you can do with this, right? Okay, again, topical cards, Velcro on the cards, pictures with Velcro. And the children will sort and place the cards on the correct topic card. Sorting office supplies by numbers, quite interesting. Yeah. So you got rubber band, eraser, and all that. You ask them to sort. Now, this plastic that they're using is something, again, you buy in DIY or in Daiso. All right. It's actually a plastic container with separated with separators. Separate. What do you call that? Let me think. What is the word? With separate spaces. Now, another way you can do this sorting is this. You go and buy or go and ask church members if they have ice cube trays they're not using. You know, the trays that you put in the freezer to make ice cube. If they got any trays they're not using, can you have it, please? And then you can do this. All right. Okay, I have done this. Any questions? Any comments? Venjin, thank you for reminding me. They are called training chopsticks. Venjin, put picture in the chat. Have you used them before, Venjin? Does it work?
I have not used them, but I've seen many videos of it, you know, people promoting their products and then how children are able to learn to use chopsticks. There are various kinds. Nowadays, they have everything on Shopee and Lazada.
Yeah. Can go and actually, it's quite fun. Thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you found it interesting. Okay, let me go to, wait, the next slide. Right. Literacy. I know I've been doing a lot of what? Numeracy. Okay, now it's literacy. Can you see my literacy PowerPoint? Yes. Oi? Sorry, you were able to see it until I offed it by mistake. Oh, who wants to say hip hip hooray? Okay, literacy. You can use manipulatives as well. Okay, spelling. Ladybug. Put the picture. So you just have to print out some pictures unless you can draw. Okay, and you have nice handwriting. You write it out, and what do the children do? They clip wooden pegs. On each wooden peg is written a letter. Now, it is quite important. All right, listen. When you're writing all these words, it must be small letters, not capital letters. All right, use small letters. Why? Anyone knows why? The reason is when you open, you know, when you read a letter, you read a book or anything, all right, you see like 90%, 95% all small letters, right? The capital letters are only used at the beginning of a sentence or a specific noun. So the children need to see words using small letters because that's how they're going to experience it most of the time. All right? Here, clothing, okay, pictures, the children, and there's Velcro, so the children will stick it on. Sorting clothing and farm animals. Okay, teaching writing. So this is the letter M. This is what? Cardboard. What do? You ask the children to what? Follow. What you can do if you don't want this to, all right, what you can actually do is you can actually put a piece of plastic over this. You use maybe, what's that called? Blue tack to tack it on the table, and then you put a piece of plastic over it, then they can what? Draw over it. Yeah. Ideas for teaching writing. All the children love this, especially the boys. Go and get black paper. Black ones is got sugar paper. And then you write the letter, and then you make the letter into a what? road, see, then the children will move, all right, car, and that gets them to what? So you use it small letter and big letters, all right, have fun with it. Then I have seen these in the form of numbers, 1, 2, 3, okay. This is actually available somewhere, free download PDF. Let me see whether I can find it again for both numbers and letters. Okay. Here, this is what I was talking about. Give the children Play-Doh, make them what? Make snakes, you know. Okay. And then give them a card like this and ask them to use the Play-Doh to outline the capital D. Yeah, then there is the small d. You notice everything is in a Ziploc bag. So your manipulatives, everything are kept properly. Okay, this is quite fun. Use, what are these? Pipe cleaners. Okay, pipe cleaners. There's something I need to tell you all. I was doing teacher training once. These are kindergarten and year 1 teachers from government schools. And so this teacher asked me, Datin, Indranee, saya ada seorang budak, dia punya tulisan sangat hodoh tau. Oh, tulisan dia hodoh, ya, okay. Dan dia tulis pun macam dia tak betul lah. Then I ask, boleh cikgu bagi contoh? Oh, kalau dia tulis M, dia tulis macam ini. Or rather, so I look at the teacher, and I ask the teacher, cikgu ada carta abjad dalam kelas tak? Oh, ada. I said, oh, saya dah tahu apa pasal budak ni tulis macam tu. Because cikgu, budak ini dia bukan menulis M. Dia melukis M. Dia tengok carta, okay, dia ikut. Tapi kerana dia tak tahu macam mana cara, okay, nak menulis, so dia just tengok, dia just lukis saja. You know, I said, there was a teacher who asked me once when I was teaching, doing training for government school teachers, kindergarten and year 1. One teacher told me that one student of hers wrote very horrible handwriting and then did it in some strange way. So then I asked her, I said, can you tell me what he did? So he said, M was written like this. Then I asked her, I said, do you have a alphabet chart in your class? Yes. I said, I said, teacher, your student is not writing M. Your student is drawing M. You know what I mean? Now, our children need to be taught how to write the letters of the alphabet correctly. All right. So in your classroom, you should actually have the ABC chart with the arrows. Okay. The ABC chart, the arrows, so that they know what to do. See, handwriting has deteriorated horribly, okay, in schools. Over the past 10, 15 years, I can tell you why. At first, I was trying to figure out what's happening. What is happening is when the kindergarten curriculum, okay, was created and distributed to all the private kindergartens, yeah, something happened at year 1. Something happened to the year 1 curriculum. The year 1 curriculum, when I went to school, now that we learned ABC, 1, 2, 3, and handwriting, okay, and all basic literacy and numeracy in year 1. When the ministry, all right, drafted the kindergarten curriculum, they moved the basic reading and writing down to kindergarten level. So now we actually got a number of students, especially in rural areas, who don't go to kindergarten either because the parents cannot afford it, or because there are no kindergartens in their small kampung. Okay, so so when the kids come to year 1, and if the teacher is not conscientious enough to go and do some transition program, that means teach them some of the kindergarten level, All right. Then you're going to have children who cannot write properly, and have all these issues. Okay. So now I can tell you that my husband, the child psychiatrist, is having difficulties. He is getting a lot of children, patients from this group. Year 1, Year 2 group. Okay. Form 1, Form 4. And A-levels or first year university. Anyone can tell me why? Can try. Can guess, no problem. The reason is the children, what happened to the current Year 1, Year 2, they actually, stayed where they were in kindergarten during COVID, and of course they landed up with online classes. Okay, so when they landed with Wenjin, because of MCO. So when they landed with online classes, the problem is this: A, B, C, D. Children very happy, no problem. They said, "What is this? A, very good. What is this? Apple. Okay, which letter starts with which fruit starts with A? Apple. Ini semua boleh." You know what the problem is? Then the children bully their parents. They don't want to do writing homework. Correct? We all kena, right? When they're in kindergarten with us, they will write. When they're at home, they say, don't. So the parents couldn't get them to write. They didn't have enough practice. So when they went into Year 1, okay, their basic skills were not there. And the teachers just zoom into Year 1 work. Especially some will say, I'm a Year 1 teacher, I only teach Year 1. Why are you so stupid? You don't know ABC, huh? You don't know that this is B and this is what's happening. And I know this one is because of my patient, my husband's patients. The other one is because the Jabatan Pendidikan here, actually spoke to me last year. You know what they wanted to do? They wanted me to go and train the teachers in dyslexia. So then I asked for the age group, Year 1, Year 2. So I said, it's actually not dyslexia. I told them the next two months or 3 months, do a transition course, use the kindergarten's literacy and numeracy, all right? And you should find that at the end of 2-3 months, the children can catch up. Some, and there will be very few of the students who still cannot, then you pass to me. I'll pass to the special needs educators. Because my husband and I actually started a private special needs center, and it's by an NGO, Penang Mental Health Association. So we only charge 40 ringgit a session if you can, or whatever you can pay, or you cannot pay, never mind. The reason why Dr. Lai and I set it up is because it is not morally right that children, okay, get help for their condition only because the parents have money. So the poor children don't get help. We don't think that is correct. All right. Then that was the Year 1, Year 2 problem. You know what's the problem with the Form 1, Form 2? They didn't have to do they didn't have to do UPSR. They studied what? Half of Standard 5 and another half, 3/4 of Year 6 online. Okay. And I tell you, maths especially very difficult online. Okay. So then they entered Form 1. And you do know that it's a transition. Standard 3 to Form 4, there is a leap. And some children cannot manage in the beginning in Form 4. There is another transition, a quite high level transition between Year 6 and what's it called? Form 1. Again, especially when it came to maths and all that, the children couldn't cope because their Year 5, Year 6 maths foundation wasn't there. But the teachers just carry on with Form 1. So you got children who cannot understand or who are failing. Okay? Kena marah in school. After a while, what happened? Don't want to go to school. Some have depression when they go to school. Some have severe anxiety, cannot even breathe properly, panic. Those are the cases that my husband is dealing with. Another one is this, transition to Form 4. Can you imagine you did Form 2 and Form 3 maths online, and then Form 4, they want to put you in a science stream and ask you to do ed maths. All right. Cannot cope, right? They can't even actually nowadays cope properly with the normal maths. You want to shove them into ed maths. So very difficult. And then another group will be those who are going to college. Okay, also same problem. And then amongst all, Benjin, I agree with you. Until now also, I can't, I managed to fail at maths. I was so good in maths that my maths teacher called my parents in Form 4 to send me for maths class. Okay, and then 1 month later, the tuition teacher called my mother and said, don't send her anymore. Okay, that's how good my maths is. I just cannot. All right. Then for so you've got another group with the Form 4 that cannot cope, and then the college. Now there's another thing now. When the colleges and schools all open, you had groups of teenagers who didn't want to go to school. You know why? They are used to being at home in front of the computer. They don't know how to socialize. No, they don't want to go to school, don't want to go to college. That's another area that we're dealing with now. You know what I'm doing? Teach social skills. What else to do? You have to teach social skills. That's what I'm doing. So just let you know, there are actually a lot of things that happen because of the MCO, the COVID. All right. Let me go through literacy with you. Let me not continue, sorry, literacy. Yeah. Okay. A, B, C, D, E, sort all these objects into the letter boxes by what? Beginning sound. Yeah, so use Lego if you want. Okay, these are Unifix cube. You don't have it or cannot afford it, use Lego. Okay, what you do, you see this, like the Unifix cube or the Lego, you write letters on it. Okay, this one I will jump, because the letter is small letter CAT, but then on the Unifix cube is what? Capital, so I wouldn't do this. Yeah. And again, you notice the cards here, the word cards, they're using this ring to keep it in place. Okay, pictures, and these are plastic letters. By the way, if you go on Shopee and Lazada, they have got quite nice sets, so you can buy the set and then you can make your print out your own pictures, but you can use the same letters. The plastic letters are very nice. Oh, look at this. I like this. Okay, ice cream stick, A and D. Then what do the children do? They look for the wooden pegs, A and D. I like this, the way this is, what do you call it, presented on this metal tray. Of course, you can use any tray. So these are all, they are focusing on big letters. Okay. Say it, bat, build it, use these letters, B-A-T. Now you write it, B-A-T. Yeah, so you can actually do this. Again, this one very cheap from DIY, Daiso. This is actually like cookie sheets, the tip, okay? So you use your permanent marker to write A to Z, give them the letters, okay? And they arrange on it. So this is capital, then you can have another set, small letters. You can also have another set, numbers 1 to 9, or 1 to 10, whatever you want, yeah? This is very cute. Overseas, they have, these are actually clothes pegs, you know, but these clothes pegs have heads on. All right, these are actually clothes pegs. You can actually buy it on DIY or Lazada under Art and Craft. So, capital letters, you see, they stick it at the bottom, and then each of the what do you call it? The peg women and boys have letters. And what the teacher did was colored the what? He or she painted different hairstyles. Yep. Now, write the letter on a small card. In this small card, paste it on a craft stick. Now, this is the one that the pool noodle. That's the pool noodle. Craft stick. And then push the stick into the noodle. What's this learning? What's this girl learning? I do this with every child who comes to kindergarten. They learn to write their names in year 3. They don't know the other ABC letters that upper. Let them learn how to write their own name first. Once they can do it, the parents are very proud. The child is very proud. So this is the name, Olivia. Okay. So very young, have problem holding the pencil, never mind. Get the child to arrange Olivia. Okay. On this noodle. Okay, if this is fun, if not, what you do, you just get letters and then the child can put it on the table, arrange it on the table. Yeah. Isaac, again, so this is using, okay, Velcro. Okay, I did this before in England in 2002. Every morning, when the children come in, next to the door, I have a table. Okay, and all right, it will have what? There are 2 ways to do it. The table actually would have the children's names. They will take their own name and put it into the box. So afterwards, when I come, if there is 1 or 2 left, that means those children are not in class yet or they are absent. That's one way I use it. So actually, then after that, after I think about a month or so, I changed it. This time, okay, they had to write their name. Okay, there was like a whiteboard thing. They had to write their name on it. They were so happy to do that. Right. Here, what you see now is another activity. The container has the word Patricia, sorry, the name Patricia. So Patricia must look for all her names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In white, there are 5. She must identify her names on the card and then take it and put it into the container. Okay, then after that, you remove this, then you'll be a Stevie if you want. And Stevie has to do his name too. Right? Yes. Popsicle letters. This is made actually of felt and then craft stick. The letter Y and then the craft stick also has the Y on it. Okay. That's all I have to share. I would like to thank you for being here. All right. Everything will be uploaded to the Google Classroom.